the B Plus is growing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you have an idea for a podcast, or if you want to, write reviews for shows, whether that's WWE, New Japan, local shows especially, we have a big focus on Aussie Graps here. So if you go out to shows in Melbourne, we specifically need people in New Zealand, Tasmania, and Queensland. If you go out to shows in those areas, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. We would love to work with you. If you have a passion for wrestling and you want to write about anything wrestling, it can be anything. It can be listicles, it can be in-depth articles, opinion pieces, show reviews, whatever you want to do. If it's wrestling, it's fair game. Shoot us a message or send an email to thebplus@unchained.media. That's thebplus@unchained.media. Let us know what you want to do, and we'll get back to you, and we'll work something out, because the B Plus is growing, and we want to grow the B Plus family. Now, on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, the moss covered, three-handle family gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number four, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Saturday. You know what that means. It's time for the view from the WWE Universe. So joining me, of course, as ever, is C-Jaii. How are you, C-Jaii?
Mate, I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
I am good. It is very late, but I'm doing well. I'm currently editing I'm currently sitting here talking to you, but just before this happened, I was editing the Aussie Graps episode, which goes out tomorrow. Behind the curtain, we record this Thursday night, right after we've watched NXT and what have you. But I haven't watched NXT yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow, probably. But you know who has? Sleepy Big Boy Mikey. How are you?
Sleepy as fuck.
So it says.
We are going live at, well, not live, but we're going at 12:22 a.m. winning.
Yeah. Well, look, this is all you guys. Like, I say to you, I want to do this shit at like 6 p.m., right? Like, but when we get home from work and we have to watch, it's the struggles of being an Australian wrestling podcaster, I guess, is everything happens during the day while we're at work. So,
Yep.
But I still haven't actually watched any WWE since Evolution. I've gone back to watching just the 20-minute, YouTube highlight reels, and I've actually thoroughly enjoyed consuming WWE that way. And I would feel very dishonest doing a podcast about the week in WWE if all I've watched are those 20-minute highlight clips. I'm still watching NXT and stuff, but I've gotten back to watching wrestling this week because obviously I wasn't watching anything for my first week of Red Dead Redemption. I have finished the main story of Red Dead Redemption. I'm in the epilogue now. I have decided I'm going to do a podcast about it because this is my show. I can do what I want.
Yes.
It'll probably be the least listened to B Plus podcast episode ever, but it's gonna happen. I'll find a way to tie it into wrestling somehow. I don't know, but I'm back to watching wrestling, and I'm gonna be back to doing all the podcasts. However, you guys have been doing such a good job with the view from the WWE Universe. I decided to sort of, at least for the foreseeable future, hand the reins over to Big Boy Mikey, and he's going to be joining you forever, CJ.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to bow out now and let you guys take it. I look forward to hearing your take on the week in WWE.
Too easy. Enjoy your night.
See you guys.
Anybody? Well, all right then. The cowboy has ridden off into the sunset.
On his trusty steed horse thing.
Yeah.
At least
Red.
he's not robbing trains anymore.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, how do we know it's not real? But a steady week in WWE. There's nothing too major. It's just a standard, I guess a standard week you could call it. You know, kind of a.
Yeah, it was really quiet.
Mm.
It was really quiet this week. Not much were announced. But let's get into Monday Night Raw and talk about that.
Yeah. So the guys are the entire crew from Raw, SmackDown, and 205 were all in the UK this week. So everything was coming out of, I think, Manchester for Raw. I think it was Glasgow on SmackDown. No, not Manchester as well. SmackDown.
No, Manchester as well, yeah.
I swear they did something in Glasgow, but that might have just been a live show. But anyway, it all come from Manchester, England. Like we'll get into Raw, but like we said, like nothing that really stood out, I guess. It's more, I mean, this is one of my favorite pay-per-view builds every year. I like this sort of time of the year. I love Survivor Series. I love when there's cross interaction between SmackDown and Raw, and you get those cool matchups. This is a part of the brand split that I love, because then you're like, oh, cool, like Nakamura Rollins, like I didn't see that match coming for a while. Now we're going to get to see it, and it's like, okay, that's cool. So
yeah, you get all your sort of dream matches in this point.
Yeah, exactly right. So
except for Lesnar versus AJ.
Yeah, well, it'd be a dream match if AJ does win, but anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but let's start on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and speaking of Survivor Series, Raw opens with Baron Corbin announcing 3 main competitors in the men's singles match. In the 5 tag team match.
Yep.
With Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman all getting added to the team.
Yep. The Dogs of War. Well, the former Dogs of War. It's Strowman's the face guy now, but yeah, a decent starting 3.
Yeah.
I hope this is the start of something good for Drew. I think they need to start putting their eggs in the basket with Drew, so hopefully this is...
Well, they keep saying that Drew McIntyre is going to cop a massive push at the beginning of 2019, and I'll put my prediction out here right and early. I'm calling Drew McIntyre to be the sole survivor out of all 10 men in this match.
Yeah, I can see that. I could even see him still in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah, Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good contention for the Rumble.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say that they're re-scrambling to book the Rumble, because I think they wanted The Rock and Roman. I think they're going to have The Rock be a surprise guest at the Rumble and win, and go to Mania against Roman, but obviously that's off the cards. And I think The Rock is just going to be too much of not a liability. Well, it is a financial liability for WWE to have The Rock on at any time, because if The Rock has one little injury that
everything could go wrong.
So I think they're going to have to start rethinking, and I think someone like a Drew McIntyre is the right person to build around.
Definitely. I'd like to see McIntyre in a better match for Mania. Still with Raw, Alexa Bliss is named as the captain for the women's team. However, she's not competing because she is still indeed injured. So
I like that. I like that they've given Alexa a role, because she's too valuable to keep off screen.
Yeah.
It's good that they're finding roles for the guys that are injured, or, I like that.
Yeah, it's good. Like, for example, Jason Jordan is working as a producer backstage.
Right.
And Kurt Hawkins was just recently doing the same before his hernia cleared. So that's so good to see that they're finding stuff for their injured superstars to do.
Yeah. That's it. But
speaking of Kurt Hawkins, sorry, I just want to touch on this. Kurt Hawkins is still and is officially 232 losses consecutively.
It's crazy.
Oh, I love it. I don't know why. I love Kurt Hawkins so much, but his losing streak is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Like, how do you get to that losing streak? It's just amazing. Like, and where do you end it? Where do you end it? Like,
he ends it on match number 300 by winning a championship in an open challenge
against Zack Ryder.
But no, so yeah, on Monday Night Raw, Alexa tried to start announcing the women's team, but kept getting interrupted. Poor girl. Kurt Hawkins has announced that Kurt Angle has announced that he wants to be on the team for Monday Night Raw.
I like it.
So
I like having Angle back. He can still go. Like he doesn't have to be full time, but if he did like a bit of a Jericho, Triple H type, Shane McMahon type thing, I think it'll work well. Like, he's still fit to go. No, he can't do like the house show circuit and all that, but I mean, like only 2 years ago, he was still working at Defiant, having matches with, Drew McIntyre and Ray and all that at Defiant at WWE. But so he's still right to go. So I'm happy to see him back in the ring a bit more.
I think it was just a matter of WWE clearing him. I reckon he could do most Monday Night Raws and most pay-per-views. Yeah. I think he should do a heavier schedule than what Brock and Hunter and Shane are doing.
Yeah.
Just because he can still go. And he still wants to have all those dream matches, like against Almas, against Ray.
Yeah.
He wants to go. He wants to be champion one more time, and it's good for him.
And he's maybe that big name guy that WWE might need to call up as the names start dropping onto the injury board. So I think Kurt Angle's going to be wrestling a lot in the next 5 months at least, leading into Mania. So
yeah, which will be cool.
For sure.
So with Raw, we had Angles versus Corbin set, but obviously that never really happened. But the first match of the night was Natalya and the Boston Hug Connection, so Bayley and Sasha Banks versus the Riot Squad, with the match actually ending in a no contest after Ruby Riot smashes the glasses that Natty's dad gave to her.
Oh, WWE, you're funny. Oh, WWE.
This was the weirdest thing ever.
Great spot. It kind of reminds me of when, was it Luke Gallows who smashed, who was it? Luke Gallows did something in the back, or Carl Anderson, I can't remember, with the Bullet Club, and they destroyed something of somebody's, this is really bad podcasting right now, but I'm trying to remember what the spot is, or something. I think it was on...
Didn't Luke Gallows destroy the trombone that Xavier Woods used?
Yes, that was it, the trombone. And the heel heat that he got from breaking it, Francine, and the heel heat that he got from that was awesome.
It was so much cheap.
And I like that Ruby tried it. Do you know what? Ruby's part worked, and that Natty. I'm a long time lover of Natty. I'm a shout out to TJ and / Tyson. I'm a big heart person. But Natalya's acting in this part was a little bit overboard. I was a little bit, you're the veteran and you kind of just ruined this. Ruby Riott did a better job. But no, I get where they're going with it. It's just a weird ending. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And next match of the night, we saw Apollo Crews defeating Jinder Mahal by pinfall. Quick and easy job match.
Jinder Mahal keeps falling down.
Yeah, it's so weird. A year ago, he had just lost the WWE Championship to AJ Styles. And now he's jobbing to Apollo Crews? And he fell hard.
People were saying it back then, and a lot of people didn't take it seriously, but seriously, he was taken for a ride, literally just for the Indian market when they did the Indian tour last year. That is literally why they gave him that thing. Like, they wanted, to go into New Delhi with Jinder Mahal as a champion. It's quite simple. And it was a bit...
It was smart.
But he is absolutely buried. And, mate, even just take Sunil and Samir Singh off him and put them back on bloody 205 Live. Like, what's their purpose now? Like, he's not exactly a wrestler who needs a manager anymore.
No.
No,
that's exactly right.
They're actually a fun tag team. I don't know if you saw them in the Cruiserweight Classic, and if you've seen any of their stuff from beforehand. They're called the Bollywood Boys, and they're actually a really fun tag team, and they take
Very
they
talented
take
boys.
spots very well. Obviously, all the stuff that they had against Randy when they were like getting RKO'd out of nowhere on like tables and everything, and, like falling off cages and shit. They take spots well. I would like to see them move away from Jinder and go to 205. I reckon it'd be a nice tag team. You can imagine them versus like Lucha House Party on 205. I reckon it'd actually be quite entertaining. So, yeah.
That would be good.
But yeah, another good win for Apollo there.
Definitely. So next was the Seth Rollins segment. This is what I thought was biggest news of the week was Seth Rollins got out saying that he wasn't sure where the tag team championships was going. He couldn't defend 2 titles by himself. And then Baron Corbin gets on screen and says, "You know what? You'd say you can't, but you're going to anyway." Enter AOP. Have a grueling match. Like Seth just got obliterated. And then we have new Raw tag team champions.
Yeah, like I get it, but it's very frustrating because not only 6 months ago we had Braun Strowman who wasn't allowed to defend it as a one person against 2 people when he wanted to, but then the one person, like it's WWE's long-term booking. They don't remember that stuff. But anyway, good on AOP. They deserve to finally get a title, and I hope this is the start of something good for them.
Hope so. But as Cowboy Greg would say, why couldn't it be the Revival?
Fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival.
I don't give a shit about the Revival. AOP is where it's at. The Revival aren't anything special. I know they do a lot of throwback type things from the 80s and that, but AOP is where it's at. They are such young, talented dudes. They're like not even their combined age is like the age of like Triple H right now. Like they're both like 21, 22 or something. They are just killing it. I'm liking more and more Drake being with him. I still find it weird having Drake as a heel manager with them on Raw and a face GM on 205, but I like it. I like Drake Maverick with him. But good on him. I can't wait.
Drake Maverick does have an interesting punch.
They needed a manager figure. It sucks that what's his name couldn't be with him on the main roster. Paul Ellering. I know that was rumored to be WWE's decision / his decision, but they look better with a manager. So Maverick's a great idea.
Definitely.
Yeah.
After we see AOP win their first Raw Tag Team Championships, I'm saying first because it's going to be the first of many. Dean Ambrose comes out and attacks Seth again. So this segment got boring real quick. And then Dolph Ziggler comes out to rant about the best in the world. Speaking of best in the world, Mikey, what was your opinion on Crown Jewel? Or did you decide to not watch it?
I've watched some clips. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch most of it. I think it was just a weird house show. That's exactly what it was. And I think I've heard some theories that I think WWE made it as bad as they could just so we could forget about it and move on. And I know that they signed that 10-year contract, but I think they just did that one to get over and done with. And I don't think they go back next year unless Saudi Arabia becomes like the best country in the world. But I think they don't go back next year. I think they made that as bad as possible so we can forget it, and whatever they do at Survivor Series will be remembered more because whatever happens will be better. So it was weird. It was weird, and I don't like this best in the world thing. Oh.
Definitely was. Yeah, definitely the worst thing. So we have the Dolph Ziggler segment, and Elias interrupts him, and then we get Elias versus Dolph Ziggler.
It was actually a solid match. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I. It was fast paced. It was hard hitting. Everything they needed.
Gotta love Elias. Like he's so entertaining, man. We said it last week, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again next week. He's absolute gold. On the B+, if you go follow us on the B+ on Facebook, I did the who your top 5 Raw superstars are at the moment, and literally everyone had Elias in their list. Like, he is fastly become one of the most popular superstars, and I think, with his musical talent as well, like how do you get what do you call it, like a double strike like that?
Yep.
And not build on that. Like, he's already got like music on iTunes and stuff like that. Like, he's got so much star potential, not just in WWE, but like in entertainment industry too. So
that's exactly
I
right.
think WWE need to ride him all the way to the top.
Yeah. Definitely put a strap on him somewhere.
Yeah.
And then after that, you get Elias, of course, defeating Dolph Ziggler, which was absolutely fantastic. It's what he needed. Then after that match, you get a Ronda Rousey segment saying that she's going to beat Becky and just the casual Survivor Series hype. I'm actually getting excited for this match. Like,
So am I, but
I can start to see it, yeah.
Yeah, so am I. Like, again, to be fair, it's not Ronda Rousey that's getting me excited. It's Becky, but we'll talk about that when we get to the SmackDown side of things.
Yep.
But yeah, this match, I think it might be one of the matches of the night at Survivor Series. If they were to determine the best match just based on promos, this is the best match, hands down.
Yeah, definitely.
Becky is the queen of Twitter. She is absolutely demolishing everybody on Twitter. She is fucking so entertaining right now.
So good.
Oh, she is actually just destroying people. But yeah. No, this has been really good from Ronda Rousey as well. And the match is going to be something different for Rousey. She hasn't had genuine in-ring competitor like Becky since she debuted. She's had Alexa, Nia, Nikki. Is that it?
Right? Didn't she face Riot Squad at Super Showdown?
And Riot Squad, my apologies, and Riot Squad. So the best that she's probably literally been in a ring with is maybe someone like a Ruby Riot or
Liv
Sarah
Morgan.
Logan.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah. But Becky's on another whole level, so this would be interesting.
No, Becky is the man's level.
Yeah. The man.
I love it. And then steaming from this little promo, actually, Nia Jax comes out and says that after Survivor Series, she'll be waiting for Ronda Rousey because she won the Battle Royale at Evolution, so she gets the championship match.
Yeah.
This time we just won't see a cash-in, so it'll be a decent finish.
Yep.
This, of course, leads into Ember Moon versus Nia Jax.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it definitely had an interesting finish. Ember just really couldn't get a hold of anything with the match. Nia just dominated the entire thing. Yep. And at the end of the match, Tamina Snuka came out, or just known as Tamina now. But Tamina comes out and approaches Nia Jax.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. This is going to be interesting. This is they're teasing this whole women's tag division for sure.
Yeah,
this is 100% happening. You can just tell it. They're just building tag teams and 3-man teams, and they're building it. Because you can only have 1 or 2 women in the title picture, so the rest of the women need to have something to do. And there's rumors going around that Stephanie wants the main event rosters to be 50-50 split men and women. So if there's more and more females coming to the main roster,
yep,
we're going to get more and more women with no opportunity. So I'd say introduce the SmackDown tag team titles for the women's division. Because now, you're going to have some great tag teams. Tamina and Jax is going to be a great team.
Oh, yeah. Very dominant.
Yeah, very dominant. As long as Tamina can stay fit and doesn't go injuring herself. But yeah, then I'm sure Ember will come back with a tag team partner over the next couple of weeks. Don't know who, but she'll have someone with her. And yeah, so that, it builds it. And then you got the Riot Squad. You had Mandy and Sonya, but you got the Iconics. There's a lot of cool women's tag teams. So
the Bellas.
Bella's, exactly right. So I'm happy to see where they go with this, but
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Potentially, there's been rumors that WWE have been handing out "We want women's tag champs"
that's
signs.
right. Yeah,
So perhaps they're building it. I'd like to see the women's tag team champions be able to flow between shows, similar to how Carlito and Primo did when they first unified the tag team titles at WrestleMania 25. How
right,
they jump
yes.
between the two shows. I would really like to see that.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
Because then that way we could get all of the different dream matches.
yeah, exactly right. And then because you've got every pay-per-view is now cross-promoted anyway, so
Yeah, that's exactly right.
yeah, so keep it simple. All right, and then what do we had next? We had the Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor stuff, right?
Yeah, that was pretty boring.
Yeah, yep. I'm done with that feud.
I was that tired. I actually ended up watching Monday Night Raw at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And in my notes, I've got Bobby Lashley defeats Lashley again.
Yep.
I don't know what I meant by that, but apparently Lashley defeated Lashley.
Yeah. Look, where do you stand with Bobby Lashley?
I like him. I actually do like him. I was a fan of him back when he was in ECW, when he had his United States Championship run. I don't know why. I've just always been a fan of him. It could be the whole Vince McMahon feel where he's got that physique, he's got the hard hitting, he's got the speed. Apparently he doesn't have charisma, so enter Leo Rush.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy Bobby Lashley. I think I always will because I enjoy his performance.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I know this time around, I really did like him. You know, back with the whole Trump Man Mania and stuff, and that era.
Yeah.
ECW stuff. I really did enjoy him, and even being a TNA fan, Impact fan, when he came over to Impact, I liked some of the stuff that he did. But there's just something about him. Yeah, Leo Rush is going to be a big help with it, but there's just something that, for me, we talk about Elias and Drew as two guys that they should really need to build around. And there's been a lot of talk that, Bobby Lashley is one of those guys that they'll build around as well. But I don't know why there's something missing with me with Bobby Lashley this time around. I'm hoping Leo Rush is the answer to bridge that, but I don't know why. It just feels like there's something missing with this time around, and it's just I'm hoping they get back because
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I'm hoping the heel run will be good for it. I like Lashley a bit more heel.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I just find that this feud is just not going anywhere. They need to just dump this feud and just restart.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole David vs. Goliath thing again.
Yeah. Finn's been doing that his whole career. Let's try something different.
But then, of course, we get to the match of the night.
Yeah.
Which everyone thought was going to be Kurt vs. Baron Corbin, but throughout the entire show, we had Baron Corbin being chased down and hunted by Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get that much because Strowman pretty much chased Corbin out of the building.
Yeah.
So in the end, we end up getting Drew McIntyre versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah. First off, I just want to say I forgot to talk about this with the Raw. How funny was Strowman through the night with the chasing stuff? And then, even at the start when he had the security and the first kick that he did on the first security guard, that local English wrestler guy, whoever they paid to do that, got one of the best friggin' moments of security guard's life because that kick was phenomenal. He literally booted him into the chest and he went flying. I'm like, that was great.
Going flying. Yeah, it was almost as if Braun Strowman was facing someone from 205, just kicked him halfway across the arena.
Yeah. And then, so we should touch on as well, there are reports from my Uncle Dave and his band of Wrestling Observer that there are reports that Strowman is carrying a bit of an injury.
I've heard that too.
bit of a knee injury. I hope it's not as serious as they're making it sound.
Apparently, it's quite severe.
Yeah,
and it really worries
when I
me.
read that, my mind went back to Raw, and you see when Strowman chased the car out of the building.
Yeah.
Even my wife, she was standing next to me when I was watching it. She goes, "Oh, he's got a funny run." I was like, "No, I didn't really think about it." I was like, "Yeah." Then I was like, I watched back on as a little clip on YouTube. I was like, "No, there's a limp there. Like, there's a limp in that run."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh God!" I was like, "No, this is the wrong time." I'm like,
Definitely worse timing.
definitely worse timing. Which is just horrible. But yeah, I mean,
Perhaps that's why they actually put the belt back on Brock.
it's potential just to be safe. Just to be safe. Like,
Yeah.
you know, no one wants Brock as champ, but it's a safe option for now, just while they work out what the freaking hell they do with the main event scene. So,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
best option. Then, yeah, so because of the whole Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin stuff, Baron Corbin left early, and we got the rematch from not only from TNA. It's a rematch from bloody Defiant Wrestling. These guys have actually wrestled a lot in the independent scene over the last 4 or 5 years, but they've not wrestled on WWE ever, I don't believe.
I don't remember ever seeing it.
But yeah, I'll watch this 10 times in a row. I don't care. Give me this main event feud. These two.
Yeah, it would be good.
Throw in Strowman, Baron Corbin, and whatever, but I could watch that match all day long. Drew is so fucking entertaining. Just that little touch of using the ankle lock on Kurt at the end. Just
That was good.
yeah, I love that. Like, that's like cheeky New Japan stuff. Like, that's the stuff that I love in New Japan. It's like when the opponent uses your special move and you're like, oh, that's fucking smart ass. Like, that's just perfect.
And considering that is also how Drew McIntyre got his victory by making Kurt Angle tap out to his own move.
Yeah. Just love it. Give Drew McIntyre the gold at WrestleMania Rumble. I don't care.
Please just give it to him at some point.
He was the chosen one 10 years ago for a reason. He
That's exactly
fell
right.
off the wagon. He went back out into the wild, reinvented himself, but not enough to lose his originality. But he's like come back 10 times better. It's like, don't miss this opportunity.
Yeah. 10 times better and 10 times bigger.
Exactly right. But that is Raw. What do you think of Raw? If you had to give it a grade, what do you think?
1.5 stars.
Yeah, I'll give it about a 2. I'll be nice. Drew's
We're generous this week,
Drew
aren't we?
McIntyre's ankle lock and AOP winning the Raw Tag Titles was solid enough for me just for a 2, but that's about it. But then we go to not the B show, the A show in my mind. I'm Team Blue at Survivor Series.
Nah, so am I. I'm so Team Blue.
Team Blue.
Sorry, Greg, that makes it unanimous. You have to be Team Red.
Yeah, Cowboy. Yeah, what another great episode of SmackDown. Seriously, and I saw this on a message board the other day on a Facebook post. Do you and I actually asked you this last week or the week before, I can't remember, but do you get the feel that they're putting on even better and better SmackDowns for Fox now? Because they're just on a roll.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing it so
There's only
well.
one thing I'm not liking on SmackDown, and that's just a sort of minor thing. It's quite a heavy part of the story right now, but everything else is just awesome.
The show opens with Paige introducing the best in the world to a chorus of boos, Shane McMahon,
Yep.
because apparently he's the best in the world. Enter the CM Punk chants as well.
Yep.
Who didn't see that coming?
So when I said that there's one thing I don't like on SmackDown, this is the one thing. I don't like Shane McMahon. In 2018, it was fun in 2001. It was fun again in 2006 and 7 when he was here with his daddy against Spirit Squad. it's been okay for the last 2 years against Taker and Owens and Sammy and AJ, and just leave it. Like, why does
Yeah.
Shane McMahon need to be in Survivor Series team? Like, I know he's got that good record and stuff, but like,
If you look at it, it actually looks very similar to the team from last year too.
Yeah.
Actually, the teams were a bit different, but I don't know, Kurt and Shane again. So, I guess that's what it's for.
exactly, yeah, true. But and there's best in the world stuff. It's irking me because
No,
it's like really, you really go and play that card. Like, the crowd chants of CM Punk was like finally died off in the last year. Like, I love CM Punk, but the chants were annoying, and you're gonna get them back on. You're gonna get them back on, are you? Like, other than that, I'm very happy with SmackDown at the moment.
yeah. And speaking of this whole best in the world thing, we actually had Daniel Bryan get announced as the SmackDown team captain, despite Miz. Miz coming out saying that he deserves to be captain due to the fact that him and Shane are besties and that he is 2/3 of best in the world.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
And boy, did he milk that entire show.
And I'm seeing a heel turn coming with Shane, and I wouldn't mind seeing a Shane and Miz sort of alliance type thing.
It'll be interesting.
I think that'd be money. Yeah, I'm liking the idea of having the Miz and Bryan be co-captains. Their comedy stuff on SmackDown this week was pure gold. Their backstage segments.
It was so good.
Oh, I actually agree with you. I agree. This is weird. I'm like their chemistry, whether they're enemies in the ring or at the backstage doing promos and that. I don't know how much real heat they have against each other or whatever, but their chemistry is just gold.
Yeah, the chemistry it's always good between them, and I just love the segments of backstage where they they'd say something and then they would agree with each other, and then they would look very closely at each other and be like, "This is really weird."
They just did it so well. Yeah, great ideas of captains. The SmackDown team is freaking legit. So
yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, first pick was Shane McMahon, who's the best in the world, so it's the obvious pick. I'm gonna use that now.
It's just it's gonna kill me. But
first match was a tag team match actually, and it was determined the captains for the tag team. Is this a 10-man tag?
Yeah, it will be.
Or 20-man tag?
Yeah.
No.
5 teams on 5. So yeah, 20. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
No.
Yes, it'll be 10 from 10 people on SmackDown. Yeah, so it'll be 10 on 10.
Does Raw even have that many people to be able to get in this match?
No.
Because they've got the Revival, they've got the B team, they've got who else do they have?
Lucha House Party.
Maybe that's why they called them up from
potentially
from 205.
Are there any other sort of ad hoc teams on? No, I was about to say the club, but no, they're on bloody SmackDown now.
No, Bar on SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really, really weird. I suppose you've got Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
Yeah, you got the Ascension.
At the moment. The Ascension, yeah. That seems to be pretty much it.
So they're going to have to use that because SmackDown have got about 10 tag teams that they can use. They got a great tag division. They got so the bar will obviously be against AOP, which that's going to be great.
I'm so excited for this match.
Then, so for this one, you'll have New Day, Usos, the Club. I mean, Bludgeons are out injured, or one of them is. You got. There's another couple of tag teams I'm just forgetting right now.
Sanity.
Jesus Christ, yeah, Sanity.
How did you forget Sanity after this week?
True. But this match, standard Usos New Day match, just fucking. I could watch them just every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Because
These
You
guys
just
were
know
so
there's,
good.
so there's something in wrestling that I really love. It's when, you pull back the curtain. I know a lot of people don't like breaking kayfabe, but there's one thing that I like is, especially with things like up, up, down, down being around, how good of friends the New Day and the Usos are in real life. They travel together.
Yep.
They do all the gaming stuff together. Whatever. And you just know that when guys are, they rode together or they're friends and they have that chemistry, everything in the ring just looks that much better. Like everything that Kevin and Sammy do,
Yeah, everything
that
flows a
Kevin
lot
and
more.
Sammy ever do, whether they're against each other or as a team, just works because they just know each other so well. The club and AJ, the club and Finn, like when you get those chemistries, it's just, and these 5 guys, all 5 of them, are just whatever combination New Day put in, all 5 of them just have such good chemistry, and I could watch them just. They could just feud all year, and I wouldn't get bored. Just
Definitely.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, Greg, curious question for you, man. Have you been shopping recently?
I have not.
Mate, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're not a big fan of crowds, as most of us here at the B Plus aren't. Have you heard of Threadbox?
I have heard of Threadbox.
Man, then you would know how good they actually are. I mean, I just received my first crate, and holy moly, I'm amazed. Guys, if you're listening, go check out threadbox.com.au, and they have everything from hats to socks to shirts to pants. It's fantastic. With email to a personalized stylist and customizable crates, it's honestly one of the best things I've had. I don't know about you, Greg, but I really enjoy it.
I got a crate the other day, and they gave me new jeans, a couple of new shirts, and the cool thing is, one of the shirts I tried it on, and it was a little bit long for me, and I thought this accentuates how short I am in person, and so I sent them an email, and I was just like, hey. This shirt, I feel like it makes me look really short because I'm kind of short. And they were like, send it back. We'll give you something else next month, like an extra thing. So I'm going to send that shirt back. And then next month, they're going to send me out something else. And I said to them, I've got lots of shirts. And they were like, well, we'll send you some accessories. And that's how Threadbox do it. It's kind of fantastic.
See, how good's that? And with our special code, the B Plus 15 at checkout, actually saves all our fans 15% at checkout on their first box. How cool is that?
Yeah, so head to threadbox.com.au today and use the code the B Plus 15 to get your first box as soon as you can.
So we saw the Usos getting the win over the New Day, and hence becoming the captains. And now to show respect, they were like, you know what? Our first pick is going to be the New Day.
that's awesome.
Like, that was so good to watch. I love that.
I didn't even think they were going to do a tag team one. Because on
I
Raw,
didn't think they could.
No, because on Raw they didn't even sort of touch on the tag team division. Because WWE are drumming in this whole idea that there is 3 divisions: there's men, women, and a tag division.
4. Can't forget the cruiserweights.
Oh yeah, true. 205 division. I hope they do a 205 Survivor match. I doubt they will. It'd be a really good pre-cut.
It'll be on the pre-show if it is.
Yeah, I doubt they will. I doubt they will. But yeah, like I love that idea that as soon as they won, offered the spot to New Day. I like it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Then you get your backstage segment where Daniel Bryan picks Rey Mysterio to be in the men's tag team match.
Yeah.
And then we have the On Fire Challenge, or as people like to call it, a Becky Lynch promo.
Like we talked about it before with the Ronda part.
So
just so fucking entertaining right now. Like,
cheers. So she goes on to say that, of course, she's the man that she's gonna come straight for Ronda, and that she's ready for a fight. She's not here to look pretty; she's here for a fight.
Mm.
And then goes ahead and makes an open challenge. And who answers it? But none other than NXT's twisted sister, Nikki Cross.
Yeah. I really hope this is a permanent call-up and not just because they're in the UK, give a UK person. But Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch would be so entertaining as a feud.
Oh, it would be.
Not only is it, Ireland versus Scotland, but I could just, like, they've got history together. They go back a long time. It'd just be so entertaining to see. I really hope it's a permanent call-up. I hope it's not just I think it is.
I personally don't think it is, because she's still got more on NXT.
Yeah, these days they've done a lot of stuff in the past where you can get caught up, and because of the tapings for NXT, you could, still be on NXT for about 8 weeks of TV and still be on SmackDown. So it can happen, but I love the way they debuted her. So like, I really loved having the guys come out, and like Corey's like, "Oh my god, this is going to get real dangerous." It's like, WWE aren't going to do a men on women's thing. And then as soon as that happened, I was just like, where are they going with this? And then like, have Nikki walk out, I'm like, yep.
To be honest, if any woman on the roster could do a mixed gender match, it'd be Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, and she is a man, so
that's exactly right. Yeah. And then, of course, we see. Unfortunately, Nikki lost her debut match by tapping out to Becky Lynch. But it was an interesting match. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because Nikki wants to play.
Yeah, let's play.
Oh, let's play, Nikki. I want to play. Oh wow. Anyway, so we get another backstage segment. This time, Daniel Bryan tries to photobomb The Miz. So that was funny. That was Miz was taking selfies. But then, of course, they've both announced that they've picked a person each. So Daniel Bryan has picked Jeff Hardy, and The Miz picked someone who can pull it all out of any clutch, Samoa Joe. Yeah. Those two will face each other in the main event, and the winner getting the final spot on the SmackDown tag team match.
Yeah, I like that.
So the nice little clean backstage segment was pretty good. And then you get a match that I was actually really, really hoping we'd see in a better aspect. Not so much just on a basic SmackDown, but I thought this should have been like a pay-per-view match because I was so excited for this. But we get Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was really thinking that the day that they do Rey versus Almas, it was going to be a main card thing. Hopefully this is just like a little teaser for the future or something. Loved it. The great match. Weirdly enough, this is, they don't have much history. They got no history together, these two. So their paths have never really crossed in the business. Like anytime Almas was in Mexico, Rey was at WWE, and then when Almas came to NXT, Rey was out in the Indies. So so this is something I've wanted to see for a while, even just as a CMLL or AAA guy. I was actually always wanted to see this match, even when Almas was La Sombra. So, it's good to see this happening on main event on the main roster. Hopefully, this does turn into like a TLC, definitely. Like a one-on-one, something like that.
However, unfortunately, I don't think it'll keep going on a pay-per-view as of yet, due to the fact that Randy Orton came out and attacked Rey Mysterio with an RKO again. Yeah,
2006 call. They want the feud back. I don't want Randy versus Rey. I want Rey versus Almas because Rey doesn't need to win. No, happy to win. Happy for him to win like US gold and that. Don't really want to see him sort of. When you get guys like this coming back, like a Rey, and you get the Shelton Benjamins and that. Not that his return has been spectacular, but use them in the way that you're going to get someone over. So like Rey versus Almas makes sense. Almas could come out of this looking like gold. Like he could be the second coming of Eddie in a feud with Rey. Rey versus Randy, sure it does stuff for ratings, but like neither of the two need a feud with each other. They don't need a push. They're both guaranteed Hall of Famers. So but it'll be what it is. Hopefully they go back to some of their 2006 rivalry, and hopefully they touch on some of that because their rivalry back then was actually really entertaining. I know they won't touch on the Eddie stuff, but
definitely.
Good to see that, I guess. Don't forget through the night. Actually, we're getting all the backstage little hype segments from both Shinsuke on Seth, and then now AJ with Brock. I'm still just jumping at the bit that we're getting Seth versus Nakamura.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good. And then we got the women's participants announced.
I actually like it done this way rather than the picking and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like the way that the SmackDown women are is it's going to put more tension on their own team rather than who they're focusing on. I did enjoy their picks. I
did too. I don't mind the idea of, like the Jeff Samoa Joe idea. I love that. It's like, hey, our fifth idea, we can't agree to it, so let's put one guy each in a match and fight it out. Perfect. Same with the New Day and Usos. Perfect. Drew and Kurt for the Raw captain thing. Perfect. I like that, but yeah, then again, I do like when they just pick a solid team and just go with it. So.
Well, it doesn't actually look very solid. So far announced, we have the Princess of Staten Island, Carmella. We have the Glow of Naomi. We have Sonya Deville, Asuka, and apparently, I'm not sure if she's actually still going to be in this match, but Charlotte Flair. Yeah. So they announced Charlotte, and she did a no-show, but then was followed out by Mandy Rose, who just talked shit on the rest of the team, and they get smacked out by Naomi. But yeah, it's really interesting. Flair didn't come out.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with that. Has there been any reports of Charlotte not being there, or surely, unless she's involved in some sort of angle with the whole Becky Ronda thing, but I can't imagine her not being.
I think a good way to do this would be to have Charlotte start no-showing SmackDown, and have her slowly turn heel, because the moment she shows up, everyone will be like, well, where have you been? She goes, you know what? I've gotten a better offer, where I've got a better challenge. Give it a couple of weeks. She's like, so I'm going to go and take it. I'm going to go take that offer. So I see her. And then a couple of weeks later, leading into Royal Rumble or something, she just pops up randomly on Monday Night Raw and goes, you know what? Ronda's a challenge. Ronda was a better challenge than Becky and Asuka and all that. They were all just people trying to win for the sake of winning. Ronda wants to win to prove that she's the best. And we start to lead into the women's main event match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just my dream way of doing it.
Actually sounds really plausible, and that could happen. I really hope Mandy Rose is not the person that replaces Charlotte in the team. Because that's a very weak SmackDown women's team, but anyway.
But then after that, we get Joe vs. Hardy, and Hardy taps, and we have Joe as the final member.
Fun match, but Joe, Bryan, Ray, Miz, and Shane McMahon. I say, we'll touch on it closer to Survivor Series, but it's 2 weeks away, is it? Still another 2 weeks, isn't it?
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. My opinion is that Joe, Bryan, so if SmackDown do win, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, and The Miz are the sole survivors. And that's how you get the three next championship contenders, and that's how you get the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. I say Shane McMahon gets knocked out early by someone like a Dolph Ziggler. And then...
No, could you imagine, right? Because those two faced in the final, the funniest thing was because Shane beat Dolph, those two opened the match.
Yeah.
And within seconds, Dolph delivers a super kick and eliminates Shane.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Love that.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. But that's SmackDown for the week. Oh, I just realised in that Survivor Series match, we're going to get Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. That's exciting. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So then we'll hit we'll hit 205 and leave NXT till last. So 205 opens up with Mike Kanellis with Maria.
Yeah.
And TJP versus the Loser House Party.
Hey. None of that.
So Loser House Party this week was made up of Callisto and Lindsay Dorado. So they have a quick back and and wasn't quick. It was a decent match. Back and forth, very high paced, hard hitting. It of course it ended up with Lindsay Dorado being a smartass and wearing a second mask.
Yeah.
That's cheating. I believe that TJP should have taken that mask. He should rip it off his face and just. I've got nothing against masks. Love the whole lucha thing, but I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't like the idea of losing house party. So, any chance to like demask them and get them off TV at the moment, go for it.
Okay, well, I'm the opposite to you. This is the first time we're going to disagree in full because I love lucha house party. I wish they would grow and add Sin Cara in and add. Hopefully, Ray comes at 205 and add him in. Add the whole mask crew. But yeah, no, I love all three guys. Lindsay Dorado, I don't have as much connection with as Kalisto and Grand Metalik. I've watched a lot of Kalisto and Grand Metalik in and out of WWE, so I've always loved them. Lindsay, I didn't really know too well before coming to WWE. I'd seen a couple of his things, but it wasn't anything major. I do love them. Their matches are fun anytime that they, whatever combination they have. But I really like this TJP and Kanellis duo.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Yeah. I hope their team joint grows by one more. I know who.
Yeah.
Or where that third person comes from. Someone maybe from 205 NXT or whatever. But I would like to see someone else in that team.
Yeah, it would be good. Someone else who's like a total perfectionist.
Yeah. Someone that maybe that's on the Raw and SmackDown right now that is doing nothing, and whether they are really 204 or 203 can pretend to be 205 live and come on to 205 like Mike Kanellis or like Buddy Murphy. There's probably guys on the roster like I think I heard one stage they were teasing Zack Ryder coming on. Supposedly Zack Ryder's under 205, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But you know,
Zack Ryder would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think he's 205. It's like he'd have to be at least 230, 240. He's got a bit of definition on him. He's a very toned guy, so I don't know. But then again,
weighs in at 224.
Yeah, like for me, someone like a Gable. That's just I know.
Yeah, Gable could do it.
Yeah, like
Gable could do it. Sure.
I know, I'm just being silly because I play WWE 2K19 and Gable's a cruiserweight on that. So I'm just thinking like, hey, someone like a Gable would look good at.
How good is that game? I was going to touch. How good is that game?
Spoiler alert, and Greg, you can unedit this if you want, but there is idea of doing a Red Dead Redemption 2 podcast. We need to do WWE 2K19 podcast. That fits in with the schedule. Let's.
Oh yeah, 2K19 podcast for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, let's continue with 205. Yeah, it was a fun match. Yeah, not the classic.
Yeah, it was good, and of course, Loser House Party got the win, so that was something. Apparently, because they win at things, and then we get a little segment from the PC where Cedric Alexander is set to face Leo Rush next week.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the little spot with us.
So that was really good.
And I popped for my boy who was the trainer at PC. Steve Carino was when I was training Cedric Alexander at the Performance Center. I love seeing that.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea who that is.
Really? Okay, so Steve Carino is a Ring of Honor legend who is very instrumental in CM Punk's career. There you go. He was the ECW guy for a while. Like he came into the latter stages of ECW, and yeah, he was a Ring of Honor commentator for years, and New Japan were begging to get Carino as a full-time commentator, but WWE came in with an offer to be her trainer. So he's been there for about a year now, but like he's very tight with all the guys like Seth, Kevin, Sammy, all the guys that have come from Ring of Honor.
No,
so he's been working with all the new Ring of Honor guys that come in, like Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Now he's very close to all those guys. So I kind of popped when kind of popped when I saw him with Cedric, so that's good to see.
Yeah. So Leo Rush had a quick match against jobber Josh Morale. Pretty much demolished him quite quickly. They cut a promo about being the man that Cedric needs to work harder because no one works harder than the 23-year-old piece of gold, Leo Rush. So that was a nice little promo. And then we have our boy, Buddy Murphy. I've got to say, he looks so good with that belt. I hope he never loses it, but it's WWE. Everyone loses it eventually.
Yeah.
So we have our boy Buddy Murphy take on Mark Andrews. In a really, really good match.
Yeah, I love both of these guys. Obviously, I love Buddy Murphy as he's an Aussie, but I love both of these guys. So fun, so entertaining.
Definitely.
Great main event this week, and yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to see the day that they take the belt off him. I don't know who's good enough to take it off him right now. I don't want to see Cedric win it back again. Ali, Mustafa does deserve a title reign sometime soon. He does deserve one.
He does, just not at the cost of Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, exactly right. I could see someone from the Lucha House Party being a champion. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, mate, I was going to disconnect right now if you keep going with that. Mate, that's just taking it too far.
Nah. What am I saying? Like a Canellis win the title? Like he's quite decent. He might be decent as a champion.
He could do it.
Let's hopefully have Buddy Murphy stay as champion for a while.
Yep, definitely for at least a year. Have him lose it at the next Melbourne show.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be horrible.
To another Aussie.
Okay, so that'd be so bad. All right, so NXT.
Yeah.
To me, this was the show of the week.
As always. Is there anything different in WWE? I mean, they've kind of got the same story going on Raw and NXT, and NXT are doing it better. The whole, why did I attack him? Like, Dean Ambrose and Johnny Gargano are doing the exact same thing, and Johnny Gargano with 1 5-minute promo has destroyed everything that Dean Ambrose has done in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's like why? Like, why is the booking so different in the same damn promotion? Everyone's like, yeah, but NXT,
you know what it is?
NXT's separate. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the same company. Like,
it's not the same company.
It's the same company. Like, surely there's someone on the main roster going, this NXT stuff, that's going all right. Like, I know there's reports that McMahon's never watched an episode of NXT, and Bucktooth, bloody producer, what's his name? What's the main producer for NXT these days? The guy that is in the truck. I can't think of his name. Anyway,
I can't think of it.
He's one of McMahon's little yes men. I guarantee they've never watched an episode of NXT. You can tell by the way that some people like Bo Dallas and the Ascension and that got booked when they came up. But
yeah,
it fathoms me that both NXT and NXT UK and even 205 Live is just booked so much more better than like Raw and SmackDown. It just fathoms me. But yeah, another great NXT episode.
Definitely. It shows the creative is so different between the two shows. But the show opens, of course, with Heavy Machinery versus Forgotten Sons, with Heavy Machinery getting the win.
Yeah. I'm not happy with the Forgotten Sons being... Is this like one of their first full TV matches, like, as a team?
No, they had a match a few weeks back, prior to you joining the cast.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with them losing association. I actually like the idea of the Forgotten Sons.
See, they had no build. This is what Greg and I have said previously on the podcast, is they had no build.
Yeah.
No one knew they were coming. And then a week later, they're here. Then they're off for a week. And then there's this amazing promo about them. And now all of a sudden they're losing.
Yeah. Because like we love Buddy Murphy as an Aussie guy. Like, of course we do. But the one guy that looked good aside Buddy Murphy was Blake when they were tag team. I don't like seeing... I want to see Blake come up to... I don't know how heavy he is. He'd be a great guy for 205 or whatever. Yeah, I like I love when they got like a bikey / crew like that. I love that type of stable. Maybe Machinery don't do a lot for me. They're good big guys, but I don't think they'll ever amount to much.
No. They will become like their name and they'll just be forgotten about.
Yeah.
And then after that, we get a nice little Shayna backstage promo where Regal interrupts and announces that at War Games, it'll be Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah. I love that. And I love that.
Yeah. Best way to end it.
Yeah. I say Kairi wins the title. I say Shayna drops it. Shayna debuts the next night on Survivor Series.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Flanked by Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, however they want to pronounce it. All three of them debut on... Well, they debuted on the main roster, I guess, for the Evolution pay-per-view, but officially they debut at Survivor Series, and they begin their potential horsewomen versus horsewomen feud.
It'll be good to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
We know what's happening, so what better way to start it than Survivor Series?
Even if you got... I don't know how you put Becky into it because Becky's so heel. And then I don't know how you get Ronda with the other three girls because Ronda's face, but you probably have to do the double turn. Becky is so mutual anyway. She can...
Becky's that grey area. Doesn't matter for
Ronda's
her.
pretty grey as well. Like, yes, she's face, but she's a badass that, she could be healed too. So I guess, with Bayley and Sasha, they probably... I don't know, but it's got to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And then after that announcement, we get Dakota Kai versus Donara Conti.
Yeah, my girl. I love Dakota Kai with all my wrestling heart. I'll add the wrestling heart part because if the wife hears me say I love Dakota Kai one more time, I think I will be getting divorce papers. No, Dakota Kai is my favorite female wrestler in the world, hands down. Even over Toni Storm. I know that's hard for people to hear right now because I know Toni Storm is one of the best. But yeah, Dakota Kai is my favorite female wrestler. I could watch her for days.
I can see that. She's got a lot of skill.
I could watch her for days, and we did because she got a match on NXT UK the next night. So, really. Yeah. I like Conti. They felt like they were going to build her up about a year ago with Undisputed Era. I thought they were going to do something with her with them, but
that would have been cool.
She lost her way a little bit there, but I like that.
Yeah.
I've got a weird question for you before we carry on.
Go for it.
You know how they're really diving into this women's revolution. There's rumors that Stephanie wants to do 50-50 roster split on the main roster for women and men. Would you be opposed to seeing NXT women's show?
No.
I think that...
No, they're so...
I think that's the best way to start it. Like, you got NXT UK, you got NXT... If you did NXT women and mix between the NXT women UK and NXT America UK, I guess, I reckon you could get a really awesome NXT women's show. And it's a starting point. Like, NXT is a great tool for the starting point. So say, like, the UK show or whatever. It's a great little starting tool. And I think if they use that to really cement the women's division, I think that's a smarter option.
Definitely. It'd be a good way to do it. Speaking of the NXT women, Maya Yim, of course, has another promo at the back saying that she's here for good. And then Bianca Belair comes in saying, oh, look, you want a match, but I've been here for 2 years. I'm still undefeated.
Yeah.
Did I do that right, Greg? So she's undefeated. But yeah, so Bianca Belair is still undefeated after 2 years. So Maya Yim has to go through her.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going with it.
But like I was saying, that's three awesome women feuds just building there. 3 awesome women's segments. Love it.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, we get the segment that everyone else has been talking about this week, the Johnny Gargano segment.
Yeah.
So we finally got an explanation
Yeah, and it was perfect. Like, it makes complete sense, and it keeps him in that grey area of facing heel, where he's, like I said, his explanation and his whole why storyline has already destroyed Dean's in 2 weeks. Just hands down, and Johnny is just. I love the explanation. It's like, I wanted Ciampa, you got in my way. Sometimes you just got to eliminate that thing that's in your way. Quite simple. It was nothing personal, but he's the same guy fighting for what's
It's just collateral damage.
And perfect. Like, how simple is that pro wrestling story? It's like, I want the champion. I want my rival. Okay, someone else has got in my way, so my job is now to take you out. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do whatever. But I'm going to take you out. If I have to fight dirty, I will fight dirty. Like,
which it was a really good way of explaining it, and it kind of brought it all to a close in a sense, similar to what they need to do with Ambrose and Rollins. Take note, man, roster. These guys are doing it a lot better than you are right now. But yeah, it was a really good explanation, and it leads to a really good build for War Games.
I agree.
And speaking of build for War Games as well, we had a Lars Sullivan and Velveteen Dream match for the main event. And Velveteen actually lost.
Yeah.
Could this be a way where Lars Sullivan manages to worm his way into a triple threat at War Games?
It is very potential. It is something that I don't want to see, but I'm not going to lie, I haven't grown on Lars Sullivan yet. I'm not.
Nope.
I know he's one of Braun Strowman's buddies, and he might have charisma like Braun as well, and he might be okay. But at the moment, he's still a little bit. I'd rather see one of the bloody heavy machinery guys go single and be the big guy in the main story. But I want to see Velvet versus Ciampa 1-on-1. I don't want that to happen. It could, but I want Velvet and Ciampa 1-on-1.
Definitely, it'll make for a better match. And I think that's it for WWE this week, mate. What do you reckon out of this week? Out of 10 stars, where do you rate WWE this week?
I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 5.5. We'll pass it. NXT picks it up a bit. We haven't touched on it this week, but do get onto NXT UK. There are 2 awesome episodes of NXT UK to go watch. So between NXT and NXT UK, they saved the week. And SmackDown was solid as well. It was just Raw just really hurt it.
True. Oh, did you want to touch on NXT UK this week?
No,
did you get a chance to catch it?
There's not a lot to catch on. Like, they just, the biggest story coming of it was there was 2 episodes this week again. I think they're really trying to pump out the double episodes to catch up because they were taped so long ago. They're trying to catch up, maybe to get not to War Games. They won't catch up that easily, but maybe to NXT Royal Rumble weekend. They're going to have to try and catch up, maybe to start aligning some stories ready for the Road to WrestleMania NXT version. So they're going to really pump out these double episodes. Just 2 major takeaways. One from, I can't remember which one's night 1 or night 2, but episode 1 or 2. But Pete Dunne defended his title against Danny Burch. Great match. Awesome match. And then on the other episode, as I was touching on last week, the Coffees and Wolfgang turned heel and joined as a stable. They solidified their little team. 3 Scottish men are now in a little stable. So they picked up a victory against Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster, and Ashton Smith quite easily. Well, not quite easily, it was a 15-minute match, but quite dominantly. So it looks like they're going to be a major stable in the NXT UK. They'll do a bit of a Scotland versus England type thing, standard. But yeah, that's it.
So it sounds like a pretty decent week on WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 weeks away from Survivor Series, did we say? So Yeah.
Definitely. Which you guys can all find on the Go Home show coming up in 2 weeks' time. A couple of days before Survivor Series, of course, you'll have our preview and our picks for who we reckon will take out the top brand and bragging rights.
Like, are we're gonna have to get like one or two other people on the cast. Like, hopefully we can get like Greg back maybe just for one episode. Like, I know he's abandoned you people, but maybe we have to get him back on and maybe find someone else that's gonna bleed red for a week, because I'm guessing we're both bleeding blue. Yeah.
No,
I
definitely
can't go
mate.
against you on this, because we can't really compete, because I did not want to be on the Raw team ever. Apart, I will be on Team Drew McIntyre, but I would not be on Team Raw. I will defend Drew McIntyre. I would rather the whole SmackDown team lose and Drew McIntyre wins as a sole survivor. But plausible.
Which is plausible.
No, it should be an extra interesting couple of weeks.
Definitely.
I love this time of year, like I said at the start. So many cool interactions. Was it last year that they did the cool, or the year before that they did the cool SmackDown, like coming into Raw and just beating up everybody? Was that last year or the year before? That was cool.
Last year.
Loved that.
Last year.
Was so cool. And
it was definitely good.
then you got the whole Zack Ryder, Natalia's hand touching Zack Ryder's crotch, and the meme that came out with it. That was fantastic.
It was good.
But that's the week in WWE.
All right, so that's it from review from the WWE Universe. Big Boy, where can we find you?
At BigBoy_Mikey86 on Twitter and Instagram.
Too easy, man. Well, you can find me at CJ's World on Facebook and at CJ's_World on Instagram. Together, collectively, we are known as the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter, because wrestling wouldn't fit. But we are the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else. So that is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes. Feel free to drop us a 5-star review. Just in case you feel inclined to get our name out there a bit more. We are also on Spotify. So go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Hold one! Arm drag! You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon. You just made the list. Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy.
Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it! Dummy.
Hold three. The moss covered. Three handle family production.